Mhm. That's
Give
why
about a
our
minute.
Bible is for.
You get your recorder ready?
It's
All that good
going.
stuff.
That
Okay.
one's not.
Okay.
I should have set it up.
Yeah, we got about 30 seconds.
Except the accountant, right? You didn't do that, did you? You got a light on your mic there? Is it light on?
It was a good thought, though.
Yeah.
Never said it was bright.
Now it's
It's
got to
cheery.
find it. Where is it? Oh, I can't find it. Thought it was right there on the front page. Oh, there it is.
It's gonna make you do all that, too.
Yeah, I went to set it up. I'm like, yeah, nope, too much work today.
Yep.
Good evening. I'd like to call the order Green Lake Township Board of Trustees regular meeting to order at 5:30 PM on November 11th, 2025. Judy, can you do a roll call, please?
Biondo.
Here.
Merrick.
Here.
Biganowski.
Here.
Kramer here. Radke.
Here.
West. Here. And McDonald.
Very good, thank you. Before we go on to the next item, if you have any smart devices or any device that makes noise, if you could put that on vibrate or silent, that would be greatly appreciated. With that being said, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you.
It's a special day.
And I want to say thank you to the veterans that have served or that are serving. I greatly appreciate that. With that being said and done, we'll move on to the approval of the agenda. Does any member have an item they'd like to add or have removed from the agenda? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I like it.
Okay, we got a motion by Baganowski, supported by McDonald. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carried, 7-0. Thank you. The next item is the approval of the consent agenda, which contains the minutes of October 14th, 2025, minutes, treasurer's report, and bills. Is there any member of the public that wish to remove any item from the consent agenda? Any member of staff? Any member of this board? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the items under the consent agenda. as
I'll make that
presented.
motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Merrick, supported by West, to approve the consent agenda. Roll call, please.
Merrick.
Yes.
Biganowski.
Yes.
Kramer, yes. Radke.
Yes.
West. Yes. McDonald. And Biondo.
Yes.
7 yes, motion passes. Thank you. The next item is a declaration of conflict of interest. Does any board member have any declaration of conflict of interest on any item on the agenda under new business or old business? Hearing none, we'll move on to reports. Chief Case, oh, I'm sorry, we have Chief Case here, yes. We have your written report, Chief. Is there anything in addition that you would like to elaborate on?
Yep, a couple things. I'd like to thank Supervisor Radke, Clerk Kramer for donations of the bicycles for our annual Halloween event. We did have, to my recollection, the biggest event we've had. I know that within the first hour we had over 120 kids there, so we were pretty jam-packed and pretty eventful. So a great success. Mary Jo's working on the thank yous along with like Apapanos, Tom's, Just Trucks donated bikes. So
And Williams?
Williams Chevrolet donated the majority of the candy. So thanks to everybody for making that a great night. Tony Lackey finished his EMT class a week ago. Sunday was his final. So graduation for him is going to be Thursday night at the Mount Zion Church at 6 o'clock. So the frying pan into the fire, he started fire school last night. So no rest for the wicked. So
He's young.
Yeah, he'll do fine. He did a great job. Actually, he got voted as the class speaker for the program, so he'll be speaking on behalf of the EMT students for that event on Thursday. We had our annual hose testing and ladder testing done for compliance. That was done a week ago down at Tom's. Been eventful the last week. We had 2 cardiac arrest saves. Both those patients we just checked on are in ICU currently, so not discharged yet and still on breathing tubes, but pretty successful resuscitations of both those victims. And the last thing is that I'm working with, I know it's an agenda item for later, but our engine, from what I've told is the build is done and complete, so I'm working with West Shore Fire. Apparently somehow the lettering was not approved or they didn't get it to E1 in time, so we're trying to get our vendor to get the lettering done. I met with Pro Image today, who did our pumper tanker for CSI out of Grayling, and sent them all the stuff. So hopefully if that's within the budget for West Shore for the build, so we just have to make sure that the price is right. But other than that, just waiting to hear if it's still in Ocala, Florida, or West Shore shop is in Allendale outside of Grand Rapids, so it should be either in transit or headed that way soon.
They're gonna letter it here or there?
If we can get, if they're good with Pro Image, apparently there was an issue with getting it promptly done at E1 in Ocala. So I'm like, well, we can find somebody here if we have to, and yeah, so it's
They're
waiting
gonna
for a
pay
price
for it.
back right now. Yep.
Okay.
So other than that, that's what I.
Good. Is there any questions of the chief?
Well, you didn't actually say when it might be here and in service.
You're right, I didn't.
So
Once it gets here, we're gonna have to
Soon.
pull equipment, move all the hose, because we're not buying a whole bunch of new stuff for it. So we gotta pull radios out of the old engine, so in service, realistically, hoping Christmas, if we can get it before Thanksgiving. It's gonna take some man hours to get everything and some logistics to get radios, because we can't do that. We need to have,
So what's happening to the old one?
that's a good question. We should talk about that later.
All right. Well, I didn't know you guys were cannibalizing it for equipment, and so
Yeah, I
it's not gonna
mean,
be in service.
It's coming
obviously.
with new ladders. That's typical because those are built specifically, not the ladders, but the trucks are built specifically to fit the ladders in it that you order. So, and other than that, there's nothing else coming on it. So we'll just transfer stuff over and some stuff won't. And
Yeah, if I recall, we're unable to give this engine away to be put into fire service in the state of Michigan.
Couldn't even give it away?
Yeah, it cannot be used because of the age in the frame or something of that nature there.
yeah, I mean, the frame on it is in need of. Yeah, we would have to have somebody sign off if they knew that the frame is not great. I mean, it's still roadworthy, but there's any point in time that model and its twin sister, that was a design flaw that when Rural Fire got it way back in the day, that was known. So but it's 24 years old, and per NFPA at 25, it's supposed to go to a backup engine roll. It shouldn't be primary. So.
Are
Yeah.
your guys the ones that are gonna swap all the stuff out, or you need Telrad to do the radios? and
Yeah,
all
we
these other
need a
people?
radio company to do that because they're gonna have to do all the antennas and all that kind of stuff. We don't do that. But equipment, hard equipment, hoses, we'll move all that stuff. Yep.
Anything else? Very good. Thank you, Chief
Yep.
Case. Our community police deputy, Deputy Knopke, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. I don't really have much. I know I wasn't here for the last couple months due to football season. We survived the construction detour. A lot of traffic enforcement took place during that time. Obviously made the news and all that. I got ordered. I can no longer write paper tickets. I have to do our e-tickets, so I'm learning how to do that as we speak. I like the old way, not the new way. If there's any groups, I say this kind of every time now, especially the senior citizens, we're still seeing a huge influx in frauds. So if there's any groups here in the community that would love us to come in and do a fraud presentation, we're more than welcome to do that. It's free of charge. Like I said, we take about 2 to 3 a day, so times that by 365. And a lot of these we cannot solve because they're from overseas. And the average is anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 to $300,000 that people are giving away. So that's all I really have.
Quick question. On 633, the snowplow peeled up those temporary rumble strips. Can you get them to come by my house and peel mine up?
They did remove one.
Yeah.
Did they?
One of the strips got removed, yes, in front of your place.
I thought we were having to put 2 more in place of that.
Officer Nofke, are you doing, taking applications again for winter checks
Yes.
while the
Yep, we
seniors
still
are
do
gone?
that, Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll put that in the minutes so that
Yes.
everybody can read it.
Thank you for reminding me on that. Yes.
Okay, any other questions from the audience, members, residents? Very good, sir. Thank you. Be safe. Any other rep? Nope, don't see anything. So at this point in time, we'll move on to public comment. This is an opportunity for the public to go to the podium, state their name and address, and limit their comments to 3 minutes. Please remember that this is your opportunity to give us your thoughts, your words, without a response from us. If we find something, we can bring it up under discussion later on in the agenda, but this way we don't interrupt your time to speak your mind, your thoughts to this board or for the community or whatever you want to talk about for 3 minutes. Is there any member of the public that wishes to exercise this option? Mr. Dewey, yes, sir, please rise and go to the podium.
Ed Dewey, 5253 Bush Road. Just real quickly, I'll give you an update on what the Lake Association is up to, the Green Lake Duck Lake Association. We are going to participate in the Light Up Interlochen night, and we'll have a booth set up. We're going to have the makings for s'mores. This year, the chief will thank us. They no longer will let us do the fire for the melting of the marshmallows. There will be a fire there, but we'll just be handing out the goods, which, by the way, were donated by Tom's. So that's good news. The other thing I wanted to bring up is we have a member of the Interlochen School who's in charge of kind of figuring out what to do with the property that they own long-term from an environmental perspective. And she is now on our lake board. 2 of the lake board members have joined the Interlochen Academy to become volunteers. And while you won't be seeing us in the green vests on campus, we're going to be field monitors, walking Green Lake, Duck Lake shores, all along the Betsy River to and from. And just so everybody knows, we had to go through just like we were being hired. So we had Michigan checks that we can work with children, national background checks, went through the whole orientation process. We have our badges, which we'll show to the black bears when we run into them in the woods and let them know it's appropriate for us to be there. But that's just a couple of the things, new things that we're working on this winter.
Very good. Thank you. Is there any other member? Is there any other member? Go ahead, sir, Scott.
Scott Richards, 11802 Fredmar, Interlochen. Thanks, I'm glad to see some new faces out here. I have 3 petitions back here. One is axe my tax to get rid of property tax. And I just want to get rid of, I think Doge and Trump should get back together because I think Doge just hit the tip of the iceberg. And I think we need a Doge in Michigan and a Doge in our county and Doge in our Interlochen Township. Just to double check and make sure everything is kosher and people are getting what they pay for. The other petition is certifying voter registration because we're finding out a lot of citizens, or they say they're citizens, are voting in our elections, and they're really not citizens. The other one is a nominating petition for Carla Wagner. She's running for governor. She's the one that started Axe My Tax. And the reason, I worked for the government in 3 different branches. And I know there's an awful lot of waste. And before I even had 90 days in, somebody was telling me to slow down. That's the mindset of a lot of government officials. I know it for a fact. The other thing is, look at our bridges. You shut down Interlochen for a month, month and a half, and they should have made those bridges 4-lane. I mean, come on, it should be 4-lane from Chum's Corners all the way to Honor. There's no foresight there. That's a waste. My grandpa said if you do a job right, do it right the first time, and you don't have to do it again. So now they're gonna end up closing the bridges down again in the future to make it 4-lane. There's a lot of waste in government. That's all. Thank you.
Any other member of the public wishing to speak? Yes, sir.
Greg Caskey, 11711 US Highway 31. I'd like to thank our veterans and happy Veterans Day. I appreciate you. Oh, we got a few in here. And I'd also like to thank the fire department. That was awesome again. It's probably my 3rd year going to it with my kids, and now I have my grandson going too, so it's pretty spectacular. And this one was huge. There was a lot of people there. It was awesome. So thanks so once again.
Well, there's only 4 of you left. Anybody would like to exercise an option? Okay, hearing no more public comment, we'll move on to postponed business, which would be the Treasurer Bank Rec. Andy, could you do an update on that?
We got everything done for the 24 season. The auditors have audited, or are auditing, and we're moving forward with this year. Everything was looking good. We're holding off on calling it quits with the accounting firm until we know that the next winter tax bill is going to be smooth too, with no mapping errors that created a whole slew of issues. The accounting firm is supposed to be getting us a memorandum. She'd pass it on to her supervisor to make sure it was ready for us to see before they sent it to us. So we hope to have that at the next meeting.
Were they sending you a report?
A memo of what they discovered and what they found, and kind of explain what happened.
It's going to be addressed to the board?
I couldn't tell you who it's going to be addressed to. I believe it's going to be addressed to myself and Marv, which would be the same as the board.
The board, yeah.
All right, so we'll get to see it, okay.
Yes, of course.
I'll be bringing it for the board and for the public to see. I want everyone to know what happened.
Okay,
So it's just still a placeholder, is
yep.
And then bank recs are current?
correct.
Good.
I have one $1,500 I got to find. I found it. I just got to figure out how to
Sequence.
enter it.
Okay. Any other questions, comments in that regards? With that being said, we'll move on to new business, which is a resolution for the tax account balance. Over the years, there's been some funds that have been, the general fund money has remained in the tax account. And it's, back in the day, it used to be because we'd have bank service fees and, perhaps some overdrafts later on outside of that were caught or something of that nature there. And it was under the advisement of both the accountants and the auditors that we should adopt a resolution to establish a specified not to exceed amount into the tax account after the tax collection, tax disbursement, and balancing with the
And
county.
IFT. And the IFT.
Yes. So in front of you is a recommended number that was stated it ranged anywhere from 500 to 1,500 in that amount. And talking with Andy, he decided to bring it forward. So if there's any questions or comments, Andy's here to be able.
I've got one. So what is the tax account? It's with a particular bank in a particular account number. What bank is it with?
Huntington Bank account ending in 7666. That's right, Scott, the devil's account.
So is that shown on our cash summary by account?
It should be on there, yes.
You have a current tax collection fund, is that it? Fund 703, you don't have the number.
703 is the fund, yes,
Okay.
that is attached to that bank account.
So at what time of year does it get zeroed out or 1,000 out when all the activity's done? What time of year is that?
That is, the IFT is paid in June? May.
May.
So 1st of May. The
Yeah.
balance will be, when it says $1,000 on your cash summary, or when it says 0 on your cash summary, it'll be $1,000 in the bank.
All right, so nothing else pops in there from May to what? This is once a
July
year?
1.
July.
Okay, okay, so.
Well, after the tax bills go out July 1.
So you'll pull all that out, put it in the general fund?
It'll only be
Except for
$1,000 in there, correct? 1,000 will be our 0. And the other reason we wanted that is there's been a variety of numbers in there of interest that's been collected, it's just been sitting in the tax account because there was I couldn't find any resolution or anything that said this is the amount we want to have as 0. So this will, moving forward, make it easier if there's another treasurer, if something happens to me, or the election comes and someone runs and beats me, there'll be something for them to work off of.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion that we adopt resolution number 11112025.1, resolution to limit the balance on the tax account to $1,000.
Support.
We have a motion by Kramer, supported by Merrick, to adopt resolution 11112025.1, tax account resolution not to exceed $1,000. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Biganowski.
Yes.
Kramer, yes. Radke.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
McDonald. Biondo.
Yes.
And Merrick.
Yes.
Resolution's considered adopted. Next item on our agenda is proposed lot line adjustment for Thomas Borsos? My apologies, thank you for the correction. We have, it's been reviewed both by the assessor and our zoning administrator for compliance, and their feeling is, yes, this needs to be done to square it up, and it's already under a consolidation agreement, just need the lot line adjustment moved as indicated on the drawing. And I'm not sure if Roy is familiar with this as well, because sometimes he partakes in conversations with the lot line, with the Land Division Act and lot line adjustments. But is there anything that you would like to add to the comments or to the agenda? You have both property owners here. Very good. And your name is? Jim Higgins. Very good. We just want it for the record to ensure that all property owners are aware of what's happening. Very good. So,
We did one of these for my client like a month and a half, 2 months ago.
yeah,
And I asked Bill, I don't understand why this doesn't go through our Land Division Act ordinance. He just does it like this, just go ahead and adjust it, because the board has to do it as well. But why isn't there a Land Division application?
that doesn't, our land division ordinance doesn't apply, doesn't address platted lots. The platted lots are under the remaining aspect with
So
the
we just use the
LDA.
statute then?
Yeah,
Okay,
with
okay.
the LDA, it's section 108 and section 109
Yeah,
that governs the meets and bounds issues, or not issues, but creation of lots.
sure.
Is there a specific motion needs to be made for this, or
No,
just?
just motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
We got a motion by Merrick, supported by McDonald, to approve the lot line adjustment as presented. Any further discussion?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Paul?
And it'll include them paying the recording fee and recording that document.
Yes, I think that's a $35 document recording.
No, there's no, that's just a deed, they do that.
Yeah.
So there's no township
Yeah,
cost
we won't
of
do
anything.
anything.
We don't do anything.
Yeah.
The consolidations, we used to do that.
What's that?
The consolidations, we make sure they pay the fee, but not on this one.
Yeah,
Or
that's,
the last
that's
one.
their requirement. That's what they have to take care
Because
of.
it's just a lot line adjustment?
They're
Yeah.
just gonna do a deed,
And then we
from
get a
one to
copy.
the other, and it's done. So,
Then we get a copy of the deed when they're done.
Okay.
so,
Anything else, Paul?
Nope.
Sherry?
Yes. When they did this, this now makes this Lot 12 non-conforming. Is Lot 12 part of Lot 13 now? Because basically, we're making a non-conforming lot. We can't do that.
no, you're not.
Sure we are. Look at Lot 12.
Yep, lot 12 is as it stands. It's a lawful lot. So we're just adjusting
We're
It's not,
the
taking-
it's not
readjustments.
separate ownership, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we're not combining lot 13 and the one half of lot 12 or lot 11 and the other half of lot 12. We're not
Actually, he
combining
is.
them.
Actually, he is. That's what a lot
Is
line
he?
adjustment is.
Well,
Yeah.
no, that's what he's doing with Lot 11 and half of 12. But now we got Lot 12, which is,
There's
you
no,
saying?
lot 12 and 13 are the same owner.
right, it
We're
doesn't
not
matter
creating
if
a
it's
non-
the same owner.
We're not creating a non-conformity. They can't sell it separately.
yeah.
Why can't they?
Why not?
They gotta come back and break it apart now. No.
Yeah, and we got a consolidation
Wait a
agreement
minute,
on
where's it
that.
consolidated at?
We have an agreement, it was consolidated years ago.
Back when they did the road.
Yeah, so in this regards, they're just doing a lot line adjustment.
Oh, okay, for
So
benefits, we
these
Yes.
were,
back then, okay.
Yes.
that's where I was going.
Yes.
They were consolidated, so we're not making,
Correct.
okay.
I got it.
So it's a lot 11 part of,
Thank you,
Yeah.
Paul.
part
Yeah,
13
I
part of.
forgot about
Yes.
the road paving.
Yeah,
Yeah, but some of them are coming back now.
Yeah.
Splitting them,
they're trying to.
yeah.
So we have a motion
Andy?
by Andy, supported by Pat. Any further discussion?
I had one. See,
Oh, Dave.
see, that's what I'm saying about our land division committee of 3 people. When they get a land division, they keep records. This, I mean, we want to keep the survey and all this stuff, but it didn't go through the land division act. Where is this going to be kept?
In their files,
Who's their files?
the assessing files.
Okay,
Yep,
okay,
because now the assessor's got to go through and redo this stuff.
yeah.
So, any other questions? Roll call it, please.
McDonald? Biondo?
Yes.
Merrick?
Yes.
Biganowski?
Yes.
Kramer, yes. Radke?
Yes.
And West.
Yes.
Motion approved. Good luck. Thank you. Now, the next item is the zoning ordinance amendment, ZOA 25-001, definition of lot area. If you'd like, you can leave, but there's no rush. I mean, you're more than welcome to stay. This particular zoning ordinance amendment is to further define clear definition of what lot area is. There's been the setbacks and from utilities, setbacks from road right-of-ways, and the legal description, and LDAs, and all this stuff here. It was somewhat confusing, and we're not sure where it came from. So we just wanted to clean it up, from my understanding. Pat, please elaborate on it further if I get it wrong or not. The rest of the story is, let's make it a clear definition of your lot. Your lot lines from your north, south, east, and west lot line, that is the lot area. Does that sound about right, Pat?
Okay, well, great. I got a couple comments.
Yep.
So the reason that, I was kind of looking for the clause, I'm like, oh, there it is, it's right in there, the etch-off. So we have always excluded road easements from, in other words, if you need an acre of land in your subdivision, your building, you have to have an acre. If there's a road easement going through it, that calculation is made, and you have to add that to the volume of your of your platted lot, or master deed, or meets and bounds. So we've always historically done that, because I know other municipalities do it differently. So this is, now we're taking that out.
Yes, it won't impact the platted lots because they don't take any right-of-way, road right-of-way.
Sure.
This
because
does hit the meets and bounds.
So we're allowing, I'm trying to think of where this really plays in, but there are easements on properties for road right-of-ways. I think utilities are, that's a different problem.
Yeah, they were exempt
Yeah.
in parts of the
But
ordinance.
if you want to do a flag lot, you know, you're doing 10 acres, you're splitting it up into some 2s and 3s, and you're doing a flag lot in the back and all that, or creating a road in it, you always had to have that extra property to make it happen.
You wanted it net. Usually it's been exclusive of any egress, ingress right of way.
So this is not just a clearing up of the document, this is changing the volume of the lot, in the
Yes.
case of a meets and bounds lot, not a platted lot.
Yes, if it was a 1 acre with 150 foot, that would be, you know, what would that say? Or 100 foot, that'd be 3,300 square feet difference in the ability of splitting a lot or not being able to split a lot.
Why are we doing this?
It just makes it cleaner
It
from
changes-
what
it
the
changes-
planning commission. I'm gonna pass this conversation off to
I mean,
Pat.
you realize that we are changing fundamentally that original thing we had for a long, since I can
It
remember.
depends if we use gross or net lot area elsewhere in our ordinance, which I don't think we do. Or do we, Pat? Do we use gross and net elsewhere?
Somewhere it says that you can only cover so much of your area.
Yeah, and it's,
And when you start throwing in this easement, now you can build bigger and bigger and bigger on the property.
It depends if you're using net or gross.
right.
This is assuming a gross lot area. Again, if we don't differentiate, Pat, do we use net and gross other places for setbacks or density?
I don't know, I guess the zoning administrator, figures in
No,
No.
but I know it was,
there. I don't know.
yeah, there was some discussion. Had the opportunity to watch it on YouTube. And the discussion was, where did it originate from? There was no concrete area of designation. And the feelings amongst the planning commissioners that I heard was, okay, it should be just, here's your property lines, from property line to property line,
Well, you know,
regardless.
I don't have any big thing about this, except for it has been there a long, long time before I got here.
Yep.
It's not that way in other land divisions in other areas, but ours has always been this way, and there's others like this.
Yep.
I don't know the reason, but I do know that changing it does change the fundamental entire purpose. I guess I'd like to go back and look at other lot splits that have happened and what the ramifications were, because you always needed, you're right, Dave, the net and the gross. If there was a reason you needed, this is the only place I can think of that wording is, to talk about, you know, your road right away gets excluded out of that calculation. When you're creating a new master deed subdivision, let's say, you know, it's always, you know, you've got to have your net, you know, not the gross.
Yeah, and that's part of the the platting subdivision requirements,
Well, you know,
both
in
under
the-
the
in
plat
the-
and condo.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, I'm real rusty at
Well,
this. but-
I think what's half in your brain, the same as mine, is setbacks. Where do you measure setbacks from? Because that also is kind of implicated in this.
Yeah, but it's not, I don't think this is at all what this
Well,
is saying.
When you said about the flag lot, let's say I got 10 acres, and I go to an engineer and say, hey, I want to divide this. That
Yes.
engineer is going to go to the ordinance and say, do I have to include lot, right-of-ways and easements or not? And they said, and like I said, other ordinances
And yet, they.
do
that's-
different.
They give us, literally, the surveyor will give that gross and net area.
Right,
Yep.
but
So
he
that
starts
we have all
here.
the calculations.
He starts with our definition.
Yes.
Well, I can, if you take a look at, say, East Duck Lake Road, for example, back when the LDA, the Land Division Act, came into law, the 10.01 acres, because you're able to split them off, and that was where you got 10.01. And now time has come where people want to split those 10.01 acres, and it's 330 by 1320, and you can't split off the back half without putting an easement in. And all of a sudden, you put that easement in, now you're under 10.01, you can't split that lot. Is that reasonable?
Well, I guess I would
So-
think though, if it's different, if it's not 5 acre zoning, and now it's 1 acre zoning, let's say.
Well, yeah, well, these are 5 acre zonings. Up there along 633 as well, we have those 330 by 1320,
You know,
10.01 acre lots.
Every time you talk about, there's so many different variables
Yes.
everywhere.
And so now they just want to, 10.01 acres, split it with our minimum easement of 45 feet for X amount of number of
And
splits.
I always liked it better when they flag lotted it to where, you know, that 44 feet, you owned it right up to 633. That way you avoided that argument.
Yeah.
If
Well,
it could be done that way.
yeah, but then again, then we have to redo the frontage on a road, be it public or private, it has to be 150 or 330 or 100 foot. And that's where
Yeah.
it's very cumbersome. And the planning commission, through some of the conversations that I heard, was, okay, it's their property, and, you know, we have to be
The planning commission has
reasonable.
very little to do with these lot splits.
Yeah.
They're kind of like in no man's land to them.
Yeah, on the land division. So, and that's part of the aspect there, so.
But you're probably on the, you know, the land division committee maybe runs into some of these issues, you know.
I'm trying to understand what the supervisor's purview position is on this land division committee. Yep, zoning did their job, assessing did their job. I'm gonna sign off that they did their job.
Right, well, I mean, you know, well, think of it before that, you know, it was like you just did the split without a survey and said, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, here's your napkin, this is what we wanna do.
Yeah.
So when I see this is makes the first step easier. Do I have a 1 acre lot or don't I? I don't have to take into account all these easements and right of ways. But when I do my net area, when I plot the setbacks on my lot, my building envelope may be tiny or stupid, but I don't have to worry about it the first step. I still have an acre.
Yes.
So I can still do whatever, even though my building envelope's gonna be goofy.
Yeah, and bring back what Sherry mentioned, is we do have lot coverage requirements, so,
Yeah.
you know, it's the same thing with commercial businesses and all that.
Setbacks, density, lot coverage, it just takes away the fifth thing they gotta
I
comply.
don't think it affects, you're talking about setback issues, and I don't see that this is really a setback issue.
No.
Either you own to the center of the road, depending on the road, or you own to your property line, depending on, if the road is owned by the county or somebody else versus it's an easement situation. We usually define it as, is that us, that one?
I gotta adjust my.
We define it as wherever that front yard setback is, so I don't think this changes that either way.
No, it doesn't change the setback, other than it could perhaps add 33 feet to the 35-foot front setback yard. But an acre of land is 208 by 208.5, or historically 150 by 300 or 330 or something of that nature there. So there's still ample room to meet the, you know, the setbacks and comply with the lot coverage requirements that we
I
have.
mean, he's saying that a number of people have questioned this, I guess?
It's those 10.01 acre lots that are,
Okay, so that's where it's.
yes. And that may be a moot point if the state does their thing, where they're gonna allow 10 splits instead of 4 splits.
Well, I'm not gonna hold my breath with the state.
Yeah, either am I on that particular one.
Because they're not really capable of doing anything so far. I doubt they're gonna be able to do anything.
So, but then, you know, this is akin to, okay, it's, you know, putting another stick in the bundle of rights for the property
So the
owner.
questions arise from the people with the 10.01
Yes.
acre splits.
And other lots of that,
And this kind of solves their problem.
yes.
Okay. Fine.
Jerry?
Back to Dave's talking, if you can't, in here it says that we can't use our, easement rights and that to get that acre lot. Now they'll be able to use the easement rights, so now we got these 10-acre parcels that are 1,300 feet long, and everybody's gonna have their little chunk of it as part of their property now, instead of just being an easement in order to get that acre parcel.
It's for the egress and ingress acreage. That's where the egress and ingress easements is the only one that impacts property size now, at this point in time. That
Right, you
is
can't
removed.
include it
Right.
in order to get your acre parcels.
Yeah, so with
This means
this,
now you can. And
That-
you- So you got, like in my case, 66 feet of property you can't do anything with, but I can make a lot out of it.
No, it just counts towards your gross.
Yes.
To your lot area, so
Yeah.
it gives you an acre lot, so
Yeah.
that's gonna
That's
give
just the
you.
first hurdle, and it's the less important hurdle. It's the setbacks, those are the
Dave's done.
important ones.
Meeting adjourned.
Yeah, but those are gonna come in,
So
yeah.
it
But it's
just,
gonna let you divide your property into more parcels.
no, it's just gonna be cleaner. Again, the first hurdle is not the most important one.
Yeah.
Do you have an acre or don't have an acre? Let's not get into the inches of where the road is.
Yeah,
A buildable acre.
correct.
That's a different definition.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anything else?
So this is just defining, this is the property that I own, not
Yes.
this is the property I can build on.
Correct,
Right. You're
Okay.
paying taxes on it.
correct.
I make a motion, we adopt the, or the amendment as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Merrick, supported by Kramer, to adopt the zoning ordinance amendment ZOA 25-001. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Kramer, yes. Radke.
Yes.
West.
No.
McDonald. Biondo.
No.
Merrick.
Yes.
And Biganowski.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next item, new fire engine financing. Chief Case, you may want to hear this as well, or you may want to be engaged. As it was hinted by Chief Case before, he's been working with Andy, and I've been kept in the loop in this regards there, trying to get the best rate without using intranet banking. Like the one we use on the pumper tanker. We decided to sit there and talk local, and in fact, local was actually one of the better rates as well. Andy, if you can give us a brief overview of your engagement of research.
So I've reached out to several different banks in the area. Some of them said, unless you're doing $1 million, we're not interested. And we're looking at $800,000. So I reached out to municipal financial consultants and spoke with Warren Kramer, and he put together his proposal for us. It gets us at 7 years, putting $350,000 down on it at, I believe it's a 4%. I just lost it. Yeah, 4% interest rate on a $800,000, which is a little bit more than what we're anticipating the engine being. But I needed to have a starting point to work with, and I thought it'd be easier to go back than ask for more. So we're still waiting on all the exact numbers from the engine company, if I'm understanding correct, Chief. So this is looking for the board to approve us to go forward with this proposal, not to exceed the numbers that we've got on here for 7 years, I believe it was.
Yeah, and if you recall, I think this engine was supposed to have been here last year and in the prior budget years as well. So we've had money put aside for this fire engine in anticipation of making installment payments. Looking at the budget, talking with the auditors and the accountants, we did very well. If we put the $350,000 down on the new engine, our fund balance will not be impacted into the red of where we are standing at today. We had that anticipation, and sometimes I wonder, but Chief Case has been pretty frugal in expenditures.
He has?
Yeah, he splurges here and there.
I know there's something being delivered every day, but
I'm going to say I have a lot of checks going on.
But looking at the rough audit numbers, we are sitting very well with that. Yes, I know there's some concern because we are bringing forward our millage request that was approved by the voters. Is coming up again next year for our millages, so there was a little bit of concern of trying to keep that fund balance there to carry it. But if we take a look at it and work on the August and to the November, and also this is not impacted by the AXMI tax, with the exception of the percentages that are required to have voter-approved millages. If it's exceeding 71% or 75.1% of the yes has to be done, and the millage would be approved if AXMA tax goes through. So we're sitting pretty well with the fund balance after we take out the 350,000 down payment. That still leaves, I had it marked here with paper clips, but I took it off. Oh, we will be sitting with approximately $734,237, give or take a penny.
Now, in the motion, do you want that to include the authorization of the board for the 350,000 down payment? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Are we at the point for pulling the trigger and locking in? Is that where we are?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we're gonna pick this thing up within the next month or so? or-
Yes, we're hoping we can get it delivered, hopefully by Thanksgiving. It won't be in service until perhaps Christmas or the first of the year, once we get it here and we can transfer all the equipment over and get it on the schedule. So we are getting close, I'll say within 45 days of it being in service.
So we ran into a problem a while back on something like this.
Yes, and,
Hence why we're going local.
yeah, we learned that
That don't make
lesson.
me feel any better.
Yeah. No,
Well,
it's-
Sweats and Kramer, we've used several times for our stuff. The guys, Warren Kramer and Roger Sweats, you know those names. For bonding,
Yeah.
we've been using them forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not using the other individual or the other representative that we did before.
I mean, you realize it's still, in a 4-year deal, because that's really what this is.
7 years.
7 year.
Or, I'm sorry, it's $100,000 fees. With the
10,000.
upfront 10,000 plus the interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of
And it's
going-
tax exempt interest, so it's pretty good interest, we're tax exempt, so
Yeah.
the 4% is,
Yes.
It's better than what we were quoted originally.
Yes, it was 6.25 to 6.45%.
The interest rates just recently came down.
And part of that previous, with the pumper tanker, dealt with the chassis purchase separate, and that's how that kind of happened, was the township purchased the chassis separate, which then created this different timeline, and when the engine was actually gonna be done, and then they sold the bond to a different carrier. This is none of that. This is direct source to the lending agency, so.
right. I just want to, again, a little gun shy with the last deal.
Yeah, how's the closing gonna take place on this? We're gonna have our 350, we're gonna get 400 and something we're gonna borrow. How do we make sure we have a title and a vehicle when we hand over that money?
When they hand us the title and vehicle on the same table, it'll be held in
No,
escrow.
there'll be an installment purchase agreement that we haven't seen yet, that's not in our packet, that addresses most of that stuff.
Yeah.
Remember, Cherryland used to do these things
Yeah.
for
And
people.
Yes,
we've done
and
it
we
with the
asked them
ambulance
and-
before,
Yeah.
so it's been done with the ambulance.
Yep.
So in reality, 8765. So we really only need to borrow, what, 450,000?
More or less,
So the
yeah.
motion should include 400, not to exceed 450?
The price is, we're at what, $800,000 for the
Yeah.
engine?
Right, so if you're
I wouldn't say, I'd say.
I would say maybe 500,000, not to
not to
exceed.
exceed,
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Well,
Not to
and-
exceed 500,000, give approval for them to
Finance.
finance at 4.25%, also authorizing the treasurer to, and clerk to write a check for down payment of $350,000 out of fund balance.
Well, authorize the supervisor to sign the installment purchase agreement.
That
And
too.
that. Support.
We have a motion by Kramer, supported by Merrick, to approve up to $500,000 loan and to authorize the clerk and the treasurer to write a warrant that becomes a check in the amount of $350,000 for the down payment, and to authorize the supervisor to enter into an agreement for the installment payments for not to exceed 7 years.
Is that up to 350,000?
Yes. Does that sound about what your motion was, Judy?
Spot on.
Who's gonna keep an eye on this $350,000 check?
I will be one of them.
Well, all three of us will, so,
Yeah, because it's,
because our heinies are on the line.
yeah. And I'm with Paul. I'm nervous, I'm concerned, but as Darrell indicated, it's a direct source. We're not going through
Yeah, you
two
know,
other entities to get the product.
Well, and we've had really good luck with Warren Kramer, too. We've worked
Yeah.
with them and a lot. He's not related to me.
Okay.
Yes, different spelling.
Different spelling.
You know, the way we would get around a lot of situations with rural fires, we would basically be leasing it back from the bank. Jim Young created this purchase document that, I mean, that's how we ended up with the low interest rate, and we could finance that stuff out for a ways, but it was
Yeah, so we'll have the title in one hand as we give the check with the other hand.
Very cautiously.
Yeah. And the vehicle, yes.
And the vehicle.
Payments are gonna be $80,000 a year. Do you foresee any trouble in making them?
No.
As things stand right now, no.
Yeah.
I can't see into the future what's gonna happen, but with how things are with the finances and the money coming in, the money going out, I do not see an issue at 80.
Yeah.
According to the auditors, we will be fine.
Yeah, and Chief Case and I, we've been working on this for the last two and a half years, taking into consideration
At
what our
least.
installment payments were on the pumper tanker, and also taking a look at the cost of repairs. We've had that engine in many times. Taking a look at, we have to get specialty pumps made, and several different issues have come up where we've been out of service for a couple weeks at a time. So the cost in that regards there will help offset. We did have it anticipated at $95,000, so this $80,000 it's a better price. And if I recall, talking with Andy, I wanted to ensure that there was not a prepayment penalty in this regard. So if by chance we are fortunate enough to, accumulate some additional monies or whatever the case may be, we can pay it off early and not be penalized for it. Does that make sense?
What's the rough lifespan of these engines nowadays?
A week.
Ours is
Our current is 24
24 years old.
But, and again, I haven't had an engine with this many miles on it before.
Right. I mean,
So-
a 7-year note, more than
Yeah.
getting ahead of the game then.
And really, if you go back and look at all the finances that I provide for you each month, we would have had a really nice down payment on an engine with all the money that we've been putting into our current engine. It's just been nickel and diming us for years.
Yeah, 5,000 here, 7,000 there, 12, 15,000 there.
But as it looks, I mean, again, how many of us are driving a 24-year-old vehicle?
Yeah, at least.
Oh, lots of
As a
people.
daily driver.
Oh, as a daily driver.
Right.
The ones in
So-
your museum, Ed, don't count.
That engine, all in all, from rural fire to us, doesn't owe us a penny. I would
Yeah.
still say that pump on that fire engine is the best pump. It would outpump anything, even to this day. It's just the motor, the part that drives down the salty roads is the part that's getting eaten apart. So.
You're gonna scrap it, right? It's gonna go to the scrap.
We can talk about that later. My first impression is I'd like to give the Fire Training Center an option at giving us some money for it. I don't know, they're just spending, this last week, they approved $18,000 to repair the pump on our training engine for the Fire Training Center. But But again, we could use a backup pump there if we can't really sell it as anything other than scrap.
Where are the
So-
other 6 dinosaurs that started at Rural Fire? Or the
Whitewater's will be, so Whitewater has the sister engine, and their engine is due, I think, December, March, somewhere in there, and then Paradise is still in service. Actually, 2 of them are still in service down there. And I don't know what happened to Long Lakes. I don't know where that one went. That one might have went actually to Kingsley's backup. That one or Five Lakes did, I'm not sure. So,
Thanks.
Call a question.
What's that?
Call a question.
Okay. Everybody understand the motion?
Yep.
Roll call it, please.
Biondo.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Kramer, yes. Biganowski.
Yes.
Merrick.
Yes.
McDonald. And Radke.
Yes. Thank you. Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the Interlochen Public Library Program Funding Request. This is an annual request where the Interlochen Public Library makes a request of this township board to put forward funds for children's
Children's programming.
programming. Thank you, that was the word I was looking for. And yes, Dave, we have not received an audit yet.
I do
We're-
also want to let the board know that we did not pay them the $6,000 last year. In the discussion, I pulled the minutes. In the discussion, we discussed the fact that we wanted to have them provide us with an audit. The actual motion did not say that we needed an audit to release the funds, but that was the discussion. We did not receive an audit from them, so therefore we did not issue the check for $6,000 last year.
Our lease requires an annual audit. That's on top of what we ask for.
Yeah,
So
so
if they
I,
don't comply with our lease, we're supposed to spank them too.
yeah, so anyway, so they did not get the money last year, as she stated in her letter.
Yeah. And her letter said that the audit was included, but it was
But they
not,
didn't-
so.
that They never provided an audit to us.
Right, but didn't the motion just say that we were gonna give it to them?
But our lease says they have to provide audit.
Right, we're talking 2 different things.
Correct.
Didn't we make a motion and say that we were gonna fund them the $6,000? And then we didn't do it because you didn't get the audit, even though the motion said that we were going to do it.
Yep.
Yep,
And
and in the
I was
dis-
surprised when I read that and they said we didn't pay it.
in the discussion of that motion, trustee Biganowski, it goes on to talk about how he wanted, to have the audit and stuff, so.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it didn't get paid last
Yeah,
year.
and they didn't supply an invoice, because we have, in order for us to cut a check, we need an invoice saying that
Right, because-
we need $6,000 for children's programming.
A couple people contacted me and they said, I think they went in and talked to Andy about it at one time last year. Did they come in and talk to you about paying it and doing the audit?
I don't write checks.
We didn't have anybody,
I've not had anyone discuss money going to the library with me in the last 12 months,
no, my office either.
outside of the township.
Until she came in and handed
Board
me
meeting.
this to give to the board. And then, when she handed me this envelope, she said that the audit was in there. The audit wasn't in there. What you have in your board packet is what we got from them.
And if you remember, I always vote no on this one because I think it's an unlawful expenditure. We're supposed to have a contract with them. And years ago, Ward did a very cursory contract just to cover our butts legally. We haven't done that in years, so I always vote no on it.
Yeah, and that's where we can, they send us an invoice, they give us an invoice of what that money's going towards. And if it's for tents, restrooms, programming, bringing in the jungle animals or what is that called?
Zoo animals.
Zoo animals, they bring them in and that. So that's what that money can be used for. We cannot donate, but we can pay for public. And it is a public offering designed for the children's programming.
We had a generic contract that covered us. We just stopped using it for some reason.
Well, we have new attorneys, so there's probably something that should be run past the new attorneys, too. Because the old contract was done by
By Ward.
Ward Kuhn.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I support the library. I've been impressed with the activities that they've taken place for the community, for the kids. There is a lot of kids and their parents that utilize that library, and I do hear, thank you for that, even though they should be telling that to the library board that's elected, not us. But so I'm comfortable with doing some additional funding for programming for our community children.
It's just like what Scott Richards said earlier. If we don't hold them to the law and what the lease says and what we require, that's how things get away from us. And these folks been doing it wrong for years, with late audit and insufficient audit. They'll give us just a budget and call it an audit. Remember, they drop the ball every time. So we got to hold them accountable.
I'm not opposed to giving them the money either. I think, we see that library is probably the busiest library that we have in Grand Traverse County. I would like to run it past our new lawyers, attorneys, and see if they can draft some type of an agreement up for us. And then I think we probably need to have a meeting with Jennifer, the librarian, and go over some of the things that we would like to see them present to us in order to finalize the money that we are giving to them.
Well, I'll make a motion that we provide $6,000 for programming for the Interlochen Public Library upon receiving the current audit and budget, and our attorneys review or provide a contract as per Trustee Biganowski's recommendation.
We have a motion by Merrick, supported by West, to authorize $6,000 to the Interlochen Public Library with conditions of an current audit and budget be provided, and the appropriate verbiage
To make it a lawful expenditure.
to make it a lawful expenditure via legal counsel.
Correct.
Any further discussion?
I do like we always kick these things down the road. Now, he did a long motion, but it covers everything, so we don't have to readdress this next month or the month after that. So I like that idea.
Can we put that in the minutes?
Dave likes
Well,
something Andy said.
Please.
It's recorded and it's on YouTube.
Did I say that out loud? My apologies. Please.
Your
accept it.
hearing aids aren't working.
Yeah, let me turn them.
West,
Roll call, please.
West. McDonald. Biondo.
Yes.
Merrick.
Yes.
Biganowski.
Yes.
Kramer, yes, and Radke.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. Is there any board discussion? Pat?
We need a new wind socket at the airport. The other one's in tatters.
Yeah, it's ordered and we're just waiting for Joe to put it up.
There's a theory that the light at the intersection is still operating under the bypass timing, resulting in longer lines trying to turn left into the village. Any truth to that?
Something is wrong with that light because going south Long Lake Road and J. Matty is longer than 31.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I will address them. We did have a meeting with them last
Wednesday.
Was it
Wednesday.
last week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
last week with them meeting MDOT and the
Roads.
County Road Commission representative. And there was some discussion in regards to the lights, to their responsiveness, signage, and that, and we are working through that, trying to work together, because the Road Commission says Secor and Silver Lake is it's not an issue with us, because it's not part of the detour. And I was kind of, curt, I guess would be the term used.
That's a
That
general
created some
term.
That would be the
phone calls.
nice word to use.
Yeah, that created some phone calls and opened up some channels of communication amongst all three entities. So we'll be getting together again here in the near future to see what because I asked for their policies. You know, they said, well, it's a policy for this, a policy for that. I said, well, show me. I want to see it. You know, I don't want it to be, well, that's what we've always done, because we've had that issue there. So I'm addressing the issue. Right now, it's a 7-second light at Euchre and 633 westbound, which is just enough time for 2 vehicles on a dry road to get through. With this ice on the road now, you can't get the first vehicle through before it turns red. Well, Mr. Caskey must be familiar with that.
He can do it on his motorcycle in the winter.
So, yeah, so those are some of the issues that we're looking at. I was not aware of the intersection, so I will reach out and bring that forward as well.
Yeah, you're keeping notes on all this, right, Marv?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Judy?
It's in the minutes, or it will be when I
He's
type
like,
them.
Right.
Yeah, so yes, we're,
The MDOT dealings I'm talking about.
yes.
Because they're gonna be dancing and shifting and giving you different excuses, and someday you're gonna have to go to a legislator and say, hey, this is what I've been given. These people are,
Yep, but I'm gonna go through the process, because before I jumped right to the legislator, I got my hand slapped. And I don't want to upset the apple cart, but I will. But I'm gonna go through the process. That's what we expect, and that's what I'm gonna do. So that's it for the discussion there. Thank you for pointing that out. Any correspondence? Or any further discussion? I'm sorry. Pat, you finished with that? Anything else? Paul, Sherry, Randy? Okay. Correspondence, I have none. Anybody else?
The only thing that we do want to pass along to the board, we did have our audit the last week of October, and we should, I think probably next week, he should have a copy, a draft of it, he's going to email it to me that I can get it out to the board members. But actually, the audit went good. They were here for 3 days, finished it up on Thursday down in their office, so.
Yep. And he'll be here at the December meeting to discuss.
Is that, are we gonna pay big bucks for him to show up? Because it's pretty much dog and pony show when he does.
but you get to ask questions.
Well,
I mean,
it's
Yeah.
part of the,
It was part of the bid.
It's part of what we pay him.
Dollars that was for him to show up.
It's part of what he bid, what his bid packet is.
Well, I guess if we want to say that, is there anybody that would prefer to waive his attendance?
No, because the public needs to ask him too, so,
Okay.
not just us.
Jerry, is that same thing? Yep. Okay, Paul?
I'd agree with what Dave just said. That's, you know,
Can we put that in the minutes
Could you put
too?
that?
Wow, that'll put that in the minutes too.
Pat,
Well, I mean, the public-
Andy?
makes some sense.
I'm all set.
Save some money.
I think if the fee is that high for him to show up, then
Are you looking at his fees, or are you looking at this other one we've got for the,
it was a few years back, but I thought the
Point Murray.
charge for him to show up to our meeting was quite high.
Well, right now, we'll tentatively plan to have him show up. Judy and I will look into the agreement that we have with UHY, AKA UE, and bring that forward. So you can respond back if we get you the numbers that it does cost additional. If not, it's part of the contract, and we'll proceed without a second thought. Sound amenable to everybody?
Right. Yep.
Very good. Okay, we'll move on to the next item, public comment. Same rules apply. I would ask that you rise, go to the podium, name and address for the record, direct your comments to this board through me, and don't expect a response, as it is your opportunity as public to engage with this board, to talk to this board. Anybody would like to exercise a second opportunity? Yes, sir.
Scott Richards, 11802 Fredmar. I just want to let you know, I've met a lot of great people in Green Lake and Interlochen area
Well, yeah.
doing this Axe My Tax. A lot of good people out there. And the other thing I forgot to mention was we have a governor's debate for the Republican Party, November 20th at Great Wolf Lodge at 6 o'clock. They're charging $50 still for a ticket. Thank you.
Is there any other member of the public hearing? Is there any further discussion of this board before we adjourn? Hearing none.
There you adjourn.
I would adjourn this meeting at 6:39 PM, November 11th. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, don't say anything.